Hey guys, this is Max Rye. A lot of really cool stuff happened today. Tesla finally had their cyber taxi event, or they're calling it a cyber taxi. It was huge. It was held on the West Coast. Elon made his huge grand appearance. It was cool. He got picked up in this cyber taxi and got dropped off to the front of the stage and gave an incredible speech. I was really blown away with this the beautiful design of the cyber taxi. It was really cool. It's just for some of you guys who haven't seen it yet. It's a two-door. It's got a super sleek design. This one was actually in gray silver color. And no pedals, no steering wheel or anything like that. It did have a screen for entertainment, but that's more just for the riders to kind of chill and enjoy. So it was a really cool showcase of his cyber taxi. I think definitely worth waiting for all this time. So the other interesting things that we learned from Elon's speech or his talk that he gave was really that they're looking at 2025 for the unsupervised driving to be finally released, and that means all their Model 3s as well as the Model Y. Are all going to be unsupervised, and that's actually quite exciting. It's something everyone's been waiting to hear when that's going to happen. I know I have. I've been watching the FSD on YouTube. All these different videos are super cool, but I'm still wondering when are they finally going to release that unsupervised version. So, and of course, some of the stuff that he spoke about, the reasons why this Robotaxi makes sense. Today's transportation is expensive. It costs too much. It's not sustainable. And of course, one of the biggest selling points is that he believes you can actually make money from this. So if you buy a Robotaxi yourself and only use it for a few hours a day, the rest of the time it can be driving around town, working as a taxi and making money. The price point for around this, because you are going to be able to buy this, he said, is going to be under $30,000. And that's what was mentioned. However, he's looking at 2026 before those cyber taxis are actually released to the market. There's still a lot of scale up and manufacturing that needs to happen around it. But well before that, he mentioned the folks with Model 3s and Model Y can actually start using their cars as robo-taxis. So let's talk a little bit more about the economics of it all, right? So he believes that we're looking at right now current taxis or current vehicles that work as taxis or ride sharing are about $1 or $2 per mile. But with these robo taxis, they're looking at around 20 cents. So he's looking at 5 to 10 times more efficiency and being more economic. And of course, the other big thing is you're not using your taxi 24 hours a day or your car 24 hours a day. So the rest of the time, it can be out there making you money. And when we're talking about making money, what's really interesting, he kind of discussed a business plan in a way for small business owners and mentioned, hey, listen, you can actually buy several taxis or a dozen taxis, and you could be like a shepherd. You can manage that fleet of taxis as a business in your area or so forth. So yeah, I think that makes sense for some people, but once again, it's a huge cost, right? It's not everyone can afford to buy a dozen or 2 dozen taxis. But what is really exciting is just the look of this thing is super cool, and of course, these taxis are looking to be inductive charging, so no more power plugs, no more giant plugs on the side of your house or in public. And as a matter of fact, what he's looking at doing is rolling out these charging systems that are inductive. So you just roll your car over the top of it, and it wirelessly charges your battery. I know this technology several years ago they put some patents together on it, and I wasn't sure when they're actually going to release it or when they're actually going to use it. I even thought for a while that they probably passed up on it. Maybe it was just too much work to roll this out. But now it looks like they really are going to go in this direction. It makes sense just because it makes it easier for robotaxis not to have human intervention as they need to be charged. And even the doors, I forgot to mention, the doors are super cool. The doors kind of roll up just like those old school Lamborghinis where the doors come up. So it's actually quite exciting. It looks very futuristic. And the other interesting concept that he kind of put out there is if you don't need to have a car parked, say for example you're going to work and you park your car and you go in, it's going to sit there for several hours, right? If you don't need to park it anymore, many of the parking spaces, say for example everyone had a Cybertaxi or so forth, you don't have cars anymore like you used to. First of all, you can make the actual parking space very, very small for the people who don't have an autonomous vehicle. But what's really interesting is he believes that we can increase the green spaces. So a lot of the giant parking lots that we have today can be turned into parks and green areas and so forth, which is really, really cool. And something I thought about is maybe not just that, but maybe the value of that real estate can go up tremendously as well, because you can also then build more commercial buildings or residential buildings in those parking spaces that are no longer going to be used for that purpose. So this taxi was really cool, but what was really fascinating was, I thought that was it, but actually they rolled up with this futuristic van that they're calling the Robovan, and they pulled up and about 20 people got out of this futuristic van. And so that is their answer for say a larger amount of people needing to be transported. It looks very, very cool. And once again, no pedals, no steering wheels or anything like that in those as well. And it looks very sleek. So I thought that was it. That was over. And then Elon really started discussing and started talking about the Optimus robot. And all of a sudden, you have these Optimus robots starting to dance. There was a gazebo and starting to play Where's Love? And it was really cool. And I think it was really interesting that he mentioned he believes that someday 8 billion people on this planet are all going to want one of their own, and how using these robots that we're going to be able to get a lot more production efficiency, cost of labor is going to come down significantly. So it's going to be a very, very exciting future. And that's the thing. He wanted to make sure that he highlighted that the future doesn't have to be dystopian. We don't have to have this bleak outlook on the future. It could really be an amazing future of abundance. And of course, what was really neat is that these Tesla bots were serving drinks at the bar. They were out socializing with everyone. You could really see that they put a lot of effort into this. And in the meantime, they have about 50 Robotaxis that were actually giving people rides around around a neighborhood, like it was a closed track neighborhood that they were doing. So it was really kind of a great way to showcase not just pictures or if people walk around taking pictures, but really get them to experience that the next wave of technology and what's coming out from Tesla. So I really loved it. I was really excited to share this video because when I saw this, I was like, this is really happening. And there was just a lot of questions about when some of this technology is going to be released. So Elon did kind of discuss a little bit about that, which I'm glad that he did. Once again, his timelines sometimes are not always on, and he even mentioned that. But a lot of really great things to come. Thank you guys. I'm Max Dry. Please like and subscribe. Looking forward to sharing all the latest stuff with you guys and talking a little bit more about it.